Have you ever dreamed of flying over to Europe and visiting some of the great countries and seeing everything that they have to offer, but you just feel that it's maybe not so affordable? Well, I'm here to tell you that there's quite a few different budget-friendly options that could really help save you money in planning your trip to Europe. Just recently, my family and I were able to go over to Europe for 11 days, visiting 6 different countries. In this video, I'll discuss ways you can save money in planning your trip. Obviously, this channel is dedicated to theme parks. However, theme parks come with a lot of traveling. So I believe this video will be useful whether you're going to theme parks or you're going for sightseeing. One of the major expenses that I'm going to cover first is obviously your flight over there. This comes with a large fee. But depending on where you're trying to fly to, there are some very budget-friendly airlines, such as French Bee, Play, or even Virgin Airlines. We chose to go with French Bee. Our round-trip ticket price started around $500 and quickly rose to about $800 round-trip per person, after we paid for a couple of different add-ons, such as a meal while we were on the flight, as well as different baggage fees. But since booking, French Bee has actually changed their policy, and now you're allowed to take one carry-on for free, as well as a personal item. My opinion of French Bee is I feel like I got what I paid for. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of comfort. Even though we paid for extra legroom, the person in front of you, 9 times out of 10, is going to put that seat back and basically be in your lap. So just be prepared for this. You are not paying for a first class ticket, so you pretty much get what you pay for. But for a round trip ticket for around $800 to go overseas, that's not that bad. If you're really trying to stretch the budget out, I've seen tickets as low as $400 round trip. The next obvious form of transportation is ground transportation once you arrive in Europe. Depending on where you're at, obviously the airport will probably have different car rental options. And in my opinion, when I looked into the different car rental options, it was roughly around $700 for our 11-day journey. So I decided to rent a car for the first day we were on our trip, just to do some sightseeing, and then I returned it the next day, and then I decided to go with the camper van. I have to say, if you're traveling through Europe, a camper van is the best way to travel. Now, if you're curious about pricing, don't worry, I have you covered. I'm going to go over that later on in the video. This is one of the most affordable ways to travel through Europe. I'm also going to cover how much fuel costs and what kind of tolls you'll have to pay and the cost of those tolls. Now, I know there's a lot of public transportation in Europe. Buses, trains are readily available. However, I feel like this diminishes your valued time over there. Because when you have to hop off of a bus to catch another bus or hop off of a train to catch another bus, it kind of takes away your valuable time while you're over there. So I want to get in a vehicle and get to my destination. So for us, we chose to go with Road Surfer. I do want to make everyone aware that none of these companies, French Bee or Road Surfer, nobody is paying me to mention them in this video. There are a few different camper van rental companies over in Europe, especially in the Paris area. There was another company, Indie Campers, and one thing that's convenient about them is they actually allow you to pick up in one city and drop off in another city or even country. Whereas Road Surfer is you pick it up at that location, you have to drop it back off there, which was fine for us because we did a big giant loop. So one of the notable perks about having a motorhome or camper van in Europe is you pretty much get priority parking. They park you right up front, no extra fee whatsoever. You just simply pay whatever the price is for parking. You may be wondering, how easy is it to find a campground or what they call an air, which is basically a rest area for campers or motorhomes? These are much more prevalent in Europe versus the US. There are spots everywhere to park, and there's numerous different apps that you can use to find a spot for the night. We did not book anything in advance, and we had no problem booking a spot each night, which allowed us to have a lot of freedom, especially going from theme park to theme park. You don't know how tired you're going to be, whether you're going to want to be closer to the park you're leaving or closer to the one you're heading to. Prices of these different campgrounds range anywhere from free to around €30 per night. I'll be sure to leave a link in the description for some of the different apps you can use. If you're wondering how much we paid to rent our camper van, it was right around €95 per night. We rented this 4-person camper van for around $1,100 with unlimited mileage. But like everything, there's always some different kind of add-ons, and with our camper van we chose to get the bedding package so that we all had pillows and blankets, which was like an extra $30, as well as having an added insurance policy because I wasn't quite sure if my credit card would have covered us. It turns out that if you have a travel card, look into it ahead of time. Most likely your travel card will cover you in the event of some kind of accident. So the grand total for 9 days was right around $1,300 US. And when you consider the cost of fuel, the price of parking the camper van at a different campground each night, and the fact that we traveled through 6 different countries, our grand total was right around $2,000 US for 9 days in a camper van. Really isn't that bad. But I do want to mention toll costs. We paid right around €5 at every toll stop that we had, and these were more prevalent in France. I don't think we paid any toll fee outside of France, maybe one in Germany. But if you plan to go and visit Switzerland, you'll have to pay for a little sticker for your windshield, which cost around €47. So something to definitely consider when visiting Switzerland. And you can pick one of these stickers up at just about any gas station right outside of Switzerland. As far as the price of food goes, it's not much different than the United States. Some things are a little more expensive versus others, but in having a motorhome, this is definitely a more cost-effective way to eat, being the fact that your motorhome supplies a kitchen for you to use. And there's definitely enough grocery stores all around to buy groceries. And if you're curious as to how our planning went while en route, as well as our theme park adventures, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and check out some of our other adventures that we'll be uploading in the very near future. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope everybody has a great day.